Hello, friends. I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. Today, I want to talk about quote unquote beer and pretzel games. If you're unfamiliar with that term, that's basically a term for any game you can play kind of quickly, easily while drinking a beer, eating some pretzels, and just generally socializing, hanging out. Games that play generally pretty quick and without a whole lot of thinkiness. So games that are welcoming for pretty much any game group, whether you're new to the hobby or you've been around the block and played a bunch of games. Otherwise, these could be known as filler games, but some filler games are even more thinky than beer and pretzel games are, in my opinion. So let's look at some of the beer and pretzel games I have, and I'm going to preface this by saying I am a heavier Euro style or medium weight, I guess, Euro style player. So I don't play a lot of beer and pretzel games except to fill some time in between games or while we're waiting for somebody. So I don't have a whole lot of them, and they're not exactly my forte, but I do have a good handful I pulled off my shelf that I would consider personally beer and pretzel games, and your opinions may differ, or they may not. I don't know. But let's go ahead and take a look at a few of my beer and pretzel games that I have available in case you're interested in any of these style of games for your game group. I'll start off with one I know is hard to get here in the States, but I brought it over with me from Germany. It's Hamster Roll. It's a little dexterity game where all you're doing is placing these, I'm trying to get the glare out, placing these wooden pieces on this wheel, and obviously it's going to make the wheel roll across the table as you place them, making pieces fall out. If pieces fall out on your turn, then you collect those pieces, and the object is for you to get rid of all your pieces first. So it's a quick, easy game, maybe early in the night before you've had too many beers, being dexterity. But any dexterity game probably fits the bill for the most part of a good beer and pretzel game, at least at the beginning of the night. Maybe not so much at the end of the night if you're imbibing quite a bit. Hamster Roll is my first suggestion for a beer and pretzel game that I own. And we'll follow it up with another dexterity game that's more made for kids, but it still fits the bill of something you set up, you play pretty quickly, easily. You don't have to put any thought into it, really. You're just flicking penguins around the board and trying to hit other penguins and get their points from it. It's Ice Cool. I'm really trying to avoid the glare here, sorry. Ice Cool, I think, fits the bill. It's, again, another dexterity game. Adults can enjoy it. It's made kind of for the family, and so it's a good one to pull out again if you want to flick some penguins. Why can't I come up with that word? If you want to flick some penguins around the board and try to knock each other out, basically, is kind of the goal of Ice Cool. Really like this one. My family likes it too. Fun little dexterity game. And then, of course, lots of card games fit the bill. So you can pretty much fill in any card game here for the most part. Like, that's where gaming came from, is people sitting around playing cards. I guess that might not be where gaming come from. But in my opinion, that's kind of where I got the start, is my family going around and playing cards, spades, hearts, hands and feet, a bunch of other games. So for my pick for this one, just because I pulled it out of my little drawer of card games, Fuji Flush. Another one, you don't have to think a whole lot. It does have a little bit of thinking in it, but nothing too complex. It plays really quick, and it can play with up to 8 people, I believe. So it can support quite a bit like this, but really any similar style card game will probably fit the bill of a beer and pretzel type game, because most of them don't require a whole lot of thinking, and you sit around, you drink, you play some cards. All right, my next suggestion, of course, gets a little more into the I won't say party games per se. We'll get to the party game, I guess, too, that I pulled off the shelf. But these are the large group social deduction. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm not a big fan of social deduction, but there are 2 that I have that I've enjoyed playing, one more than the other. And we'll start with that one first. It's a Bang the Dice game. Bang the Dice game is a game where you're rolling the dice and you're trying to take out the sheriff if you're an outlaw. If you're the sheriff or the deputy, you're trying to keep the sheriff alive until everybody else is dead. And if you're the renegade, you're fighting on your own to be the last man standing. So everybody's given a role. You're given a special ability card, or the person you are with each different abilities. You're rolling the dice and just seeing what happens. It's a lot of craziness at times, depending on how the dice rolls go. I'm not a big dice roll person, because I don't like randomness in games. But this game plays so quick and so fun that I really enjoy it. This is one of the few dice rolling games that I would call one of my favorite games. Great for the beer and pretzel. You know, pick it up, roll it out a few times, have some laughs as you try to knock each other out with your guns, or knock yourself out if you get attacked by the arrows, like I do quite frequently. Everybody has a lot of fun. No thought really into this one. Quick, easy, social deduction style game. Bang the dice game. There's also Bang the card game. I don't like that one as much as the dice. The randomness kind of makes it more fun than it kind of more take thatty with the card game, and I don't like that. The next social deduction group game is, that I have at least, the Resistance. I really enjoy this one. You're going out on little missions secretly. Everybody's got a secret role, and you're trying to make the mission either succeed or fail, depending on which team you're on. And you don't know who else is on the same team until you can deduce it out. And you're trying to either, again, make the mission fail or make them succeed. It plays pretty quick, and you can really get into it with each other, calling each other out for their actions. And so it can add a lot of variety and spice depending on how your game group takes it. But the Resistance is the second social deduction style large group game that I really enjoy. There are others like this out there. I know Werewolf is big. What's the new one that just came out? I think the Dark Tower game, or I might be wrong. I know there's one that was big social deduction game that came out recently that people really love. I'm not a social deduction person. So these are the two I kind of stick to, and this one even not as much as Bang. But it's good fun. I think Coop is another one by the same producer. And then, of course, party games are usually pretty good beer and pretzel games. I've pulled out Code Names. There are others, but sit around and just try to see who's what their clues are pointing at. In this game, you got a tableau of 25 cards, I believe. And you're trying to connect as many of them as you can to get your team to pick the right ones that you need and avoid the ones that your opponent needs or the auto lose one. So a little bit of deduction in this one, but mostly just crazy fun where you try to figure out what they're trying to say, what their three clues, or what the one clue points to. That is three matching words down there. It can get a little zany. It plays real quick. You can play it as long as you want, or, maybe just a couple rounds, whatever is good for your group. I really like Code Names. It's one of the top games for a reason. And then I pulled this one out, kind of a pressure luck deep dive. This one only plays up to 4, I believe. It's a new one from AEG. But for me, it's just kind of quick, easy fun. No thought. You just push your luck, diving deeper and deeper, trying to come back with bigger and bigger fish worth more points at the end of the game. Me and my family have enjoyed this one. So any similar push your luck games such as Can't Stop, I've never played that one, but I know you're just chucking dice and trying to go up the tower quicker than your opponents. There are other games, I'm sure, but just in general, I think any kind of silly push your luck kind of game fits the bill. I wouldn't recommend Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is also a push your luck game. That one's way more thinky, way long to really fit the Beer and Pretzels game bill. And then finally, just to be very literal about it, this is probably not a beer and pretzel game, but it is a beer and bread game, 2-player game. I just enjoy this one, being a little silly here at the end of the conversation. Beer and pretzel games are these, not so much this, but I couldn't not at least bring it out as a silly suggestion. And that's the concept, the conversation, I guess, that I'm getting at here with beer and pretzel games. Just fun little games to get to your table quickly, easy, not much thought. Invite anybody over. Grandma Bessie can come play it too and probably have a good time as well. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Comment below any games I might have missed, or especially styles of games, because I've not mentioned a specific game, but it fits one of these styles. But if there's a style of game I missed, definitely bring that up, please. And subscribe below if you haven't already. I will see you in the next video. Bye.